In this lesson, we're going to talk about large environment tools. And of course, we are going to talk about the Unreal Landscape tool, but we're going to go beyond that. And in this chapter and starting forward, a lot of the content we're going to talk about is not only Unreal tools, but we're going to start to talk about how Unreal will be connecting to the tools of the future. So let's take a look. In this video up here, which I'm going to include a link for, it's the 2015 Unreal demonstration of a boy and his kite. And this is one of the first examples that Unreal provided for a really large scale potential for open world tools. And now we are going to go over the Unreal Landscape outdoor terrain, and we're going to talk about meshes and sculpting basics, and we're going to talk about sculpting and height maps, as well as the landscape material and how to add foliage. And we're going to even talk a little bit about weather, lakes, and streams. But where I think that Unreal and a lot of these tool sets are going is not only in the basics for how to create a large environment, which is really wonderful, and knowing this is going to be core, but moving forward, we're going to add a lot more rule-based systems, and that's where these open world tools are taking us. In open world tools, you start to specify not only where you're painting areas of landscape material or foliage, but rules that start to get closer and closer to things like ecosystems, really start to create an edge between simulation and visualization. And that's why I added this image here from the 2019 SIGGRAPH presentation, where that's exactly what's going on here. They're generating a large visual environment and they're simulating over time how vegetation and environment could really affect and change. And so we are going to talk a little bit about that. I'm going to bring in and talk about a lot of external tools that can go into Unreal that connect to these. So there's a bunch of open world tools, and then there's also ones we're going to mainly be talking about environment, but there's ones like the City Engine, as well as data-based tools, mixing GIS and also USD data. And finally, we are going to talk about optimization, because you can't have giant open worlds without different types of optimization, and I'll talk about the current ones. And I also have bonus videos for level streaming that I'll include, and some of them we will just talk about where it's going and how to activate plugins like the new LiDAR plugin, which looks, given the Unreal 5 demo, looks like it'll be a core part of Unreal 5. All right, great. Finally, I've got a lot of resources that I've put together for this chapter. So that'll wrap things up. We'll see you in the next video.